So welcome back, guys, to We Talk Boxing. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the mammoth task Dillian Whyte has on his hands on the 16th of August, where he takes on the pretty much future champion of the heavyweight division in Moses Itauma. Now, this fight is set to take place live on the Zone in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And it sees the veteran take on the young pup in terms of Itauma. So if you haven't already done so before, please like and subscribe. If you already subscribed, thank you. Now, in terms of this fight being announced, it came out the blue pretty much when I heard it, and I was like gobsmacked because I was thinking, why would Dillian Whyte do this to himself? Because Moses Itauma is on a different trajectory these days in terms of his career, his performances, and Dillian Whyte has been pretty much left in the wind for a while now. He hasn't really been active. He's only had a couple of fights against a couple of journeymen recently, and it's career suicide. It's probably the best way I could kind of think about it, because his last two opponents, you know what I mean, no disrespect to them, they couldn't even lace Itauma's gloves, and they're probably not good enough to get in the ring with Dillian Whyte, but he chose to fight these guys, maybe because these guys are the only people that wanted to fight him at the time, but majority because he probably felt that it was going to be an easier fight for him. So that's why he chose these guys. And I'm talking about Christian Hammer and Ebenezer Tete. But in terms of Dillian Whyte, he's a veteran, he's an older fighter, he's an inactive fighter. He's got a record currently of 31 wins with 3 losses on his record. 21 of his wins, out of his 31 wins, have came by knockout. And 3 of his losses have all been 3 KO knockouts as well. So yeah, is at the wrong side of his career now, and the losses that he has sustained have all been devastating knockouts, to be fair, and he loves, and he's susceptible, I shouldn't say loves, because no one loves to get hit, but he's susceptible to an uppercut, and that's pretty much what's finished him on these 3 occasions. The Tyson Fury uppercut, the Povetkin uppercut, which pretty much came out of nowhere when he was winning the fight. Caught him off guard. But for me, Dillian's only got a puncher's chance. And he is experienced, so maybe he could try and take Itauma a few rounds before Itauma gets him out of there. But he's just got a puncher's chance, and for me, it's that left hook. His left hook has been his best shot for years. He was known as the body puncher, but he hasn't really utilised that in years either. And I don't really feel that Moses Itauma is going to be silly enough to try and stand right in front of Dillian Whyte, because what I believe he would do is what he's been doing so far. If he does choose to stand, he will use his head movement, his foot movement to come in and out, like that little bit of an amateur style. And he will literally try and let bombs off, go into the body, go into the head. And I just feel as if he is going to be a little bit too quick, too sharp, too poised, too persistent, too motivated to want to, to make a statement basically and get Dillian Whyte out of there. Now, as I mentioned, it is heavyweight boxing. Dillian does have a puncher's chance. Can he detonate on him? Yeah, he can. He can land. And it'll be interesting to see if Dillian can get his best shot off, which I believe, and pretty much most people know, that it's his left hook. So if he can detonate that shot on Itauma, it'd be interesting to see how Itauma reacts and takes that, because if he deals with that really, really well, then we know that he's got some sort of durability going for him, because we haven't seen that so far. His last opponent before he stopped him tried. What's his name? Mike Balagoon or Balagun, whatever. He tried to land and he tried to fight fire with fire, and we've seen what happened to Mike Balagun. Absolutely got destroyed and got put out in 2 rounds. But this, by far now, is going to be the toughest fight of Moses Itauma's career, because he's taken on, as I said, a very, very experienced Dillian Whyte. Even though he's been inactive, a very, very experienced. Now, when I sit down and I think about it, what are the reasons for Dillian taking this? It's pretty much got to be money motivated, because Dillian, as I mentioned throughout the video, has been inactive for a while now. Yes, he had 2 fights last year, but prior to that, he hadn't fought for 2 years. So, being out of the ring for that long, yes, there was reasons behind that. Financially, is going to cost you, and no doubt, guaranteed that Turkey has offered him a decent or very, very, very good payday to take on Moses Itauma. So, yeah, I think money is probably the main factor in this fight. And even if he loses, Dillian is, yeah, stubborn. I think he would kind of brush it off and be like, okay, it's one of them. I lost to a young, up and coming future champion. There's other fights out there for me. And he is right. There could be other fights out there for him, even if he loses. But the credibility that he would lose from this fight is going to be massive, because a lot of people are going to potentially see him as a stepping stone going forward. But there will always be the AJ rematch in there for him, or potentially the Derek Chisora rematch, well, trilogy, I should say, there for him as well. And maybe other veterans that are probably on a similar trajectory as Dillian Whyte would like to maybe have a fight, such as Joe Joyce, for example. That could potentially be a fight down the line. So yeah, it's interesting. I think it's career suicide for Dillian Whyte. It's not a fight which I would like him to have come back to, because I think for me, I'm only going to give him a 10% chance of winning. Because the style's just all wrong for him now at this time of his career. If it was Dillian when he, let's say, took on Anthony Joshua way back in the days, I would have given him a much higher percentage of winning. But now Dillian's a different fighter. He's not the same. He's not active. So yeah, I pretty much give him no chance apart from a puncher's chance. If he lands, he's got an opportunity to maybe hurt, knock out, or stop. Who knows? But something in my tummy is telling me that this fight may not go ahead. Now, Dillian's obviously pulled out a few fights recently, big fights this is, and something's telling me that something like that could happen. I hope it doesn't, because if it does happen, it's sad, because he pretty much won't get many more opportunities, because promoters and fighters won't have that trust in him, in that he's not going to pull out once the contracts have been signed, etc. So I hope my tummy's telling me wrong, but I've just got this feeling. But anyhow, in terms of the event, I've done a couple of videos recently, but it's a good card in terms of decent fights on there. We've got Anthony Kakachev taking on Raymond Ford. Brilliant, exceptional fight that is. We've got Nick Ball as well, the small bomber, taking on Sam Goodman. Goodman obviously got good pedigree behind him, was meant to take on Inoue, but for some reason that fight fell through not long ago, and now he's taking on Nick Ball. We've got Filip Hrgovic versus David Adley. I've done a video on that. Again, very, very good fight to see. Good clash of styles as well. So let's wait and see. Excellent event. Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren and Turkey have done phenomenal wonders, really, for this event. And this is going to be, I think, our August big, massive event in terms of being in Saudi Arabia. But you guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you like me? Do you believe it's going to be a one-way destruction in terms of Moses Itauma running straight through Dillian Whyte? Or do you believe that Dillian Whyte's got more of a chance than what I particularly give him? Do you think Dillian Whyte's got it in him to knock him out, Moses Itauma? Do you feel he's got it in him to maybe beat him on points? These are questions that I'd like to hear you guys answer, and just let me know. But as always, please subscribe and comment. Bless.